Maybe. Just perhaps, Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim. Pooping and peeping. Alright. Okay. Is that one of the other locked doors? No. Thank God. I got nervous. I was like, no, did I already go into it? Audio log 5. Don't we have... Oh, wait, this is Dexter's. No, this is right.
How the old world managed to waste so many resources on vapid enterprises is beyond me. What is the point of keeping a record on all these useless topics? This isn't a library. It's a graveyard for pointless knowledge. Give me a year, and I'll sort out the 100, no, say, 50 books worth keeping. While we cremate the rest, and make room for a new chapter. The stupidity of these pre-war novels, in particular, are just too much for me to endure. I am still waiting for their database. What was the name of this wretched thing already? Arthur. To come up with actually valuable information.
Arthur. Okay, so Arthur's the 4th robot, which we haven't talked to. Which probably was in that room. Alright, I guess that's it. Let's go back to James and talk to him about Arthur. Beautiful.
Oh, here you are. Here's a plastic bag. Put it on your head. It's the latest fashion around here.
Where'd you get a plastic bag?
Come back soon.
I won't. Can I take this? I want to take this. Hyper fuckface. Darren Andretti, Cecilia Parsons, Dexter Aldridge, Roger Erickson, skin cancer. Oh, hey, I'm fuckface? Hey, what the fuck, man? Oh. Nancy 4. Nancy's got 4 kids, and I'm a fuckface. Hey, look, a toaster. Take dealing with the loss of a loved one. Introduction to taxidermy. Beyond the pleasure, Principal Sigmund Freud. I'm taking your toaster. I have no voice module and must process my dread. Oh, that's great. I have no voice and I must scream. That's funny. Okay. I think that's the name of it. Something to that effect. Are these not... Are those not books I can read? Huh. I guess those are just books I can steal. Good enough for me. They call me all Steel Bookie. Steel books left and right. Alright, let's go talk to James. James, what's up? Parkour.
So, how may I help you?
I got some stuff. I found this recording in Dexter's room. I must warn you, it's probably not what you expected.
Oh, great. I can't wait to know what, Oh, dear. I don't need much time to digest this.
I didn't skip that. I don't know why that happened. Crap. Do you need help with something? In the meantime, why don't you give me what you promised? As for my reward, I'm more interested in paper. Do you need help with something?
Yes, but hey, I didn't forget your reward. Please, take this. You can cash in the study room. It's the little room where our master sleeps. Come back and tell me when you want to give me a hand with another guest.
Alright. Where is the... I don't even know where the study is. Is this it? This might be it. No. No. Alright. Be back. Alright, so this is the systems room, which we're going to check out and see if we can find. But then there's also the armory. guess we'll try. I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble though. Crap. I'm not stealing anything. I'm gonna get yelled at. I'm just looking for clues. Just looking for clues. Doesn't seem like there's any clues in here. Alright. Okay, cool. Hey. Anyone? Toaster? Why are there all these toasters? Am I gonna have... How much does a toaster weigh? 3? Sure. I'll start picking these toasters up. There seems to be a good amount of them. Cartography of Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds. Searching. Ooh. Alright. Ooh. Oh, Arthur. I didn't even see you there, Arthur. Sorry about that, Arthur. Just a second. Let me sit. I don't have any pants on, Arthur. The machine before you was silent. As you sit down before it, you notice a little plate where Arthur is etched. I need information. The machine before you remains silent. Can you answer me? The machine remains silent. Is there any way to get an answer from you? Silent. How is it you're not telling me anything?
Long ago, a young man with an extensive spiritual life made a pact with a spirit. In exchange for his ability to speak, he learned an important, fundamental secret about the purpose of man. Of course, the moment he learned this secret truth, his voice was silenced for the rest of his life. Obsessed by this knowledge, frustrated by his inability to share it, he resigned himself to live the rest of his life in isolation. Years went by, and solitude grew heavier on the man's shoulders. He felt his sanity escaping his mind, like sand slipping through clenched fingers. So he decided to carve a piece of wood with the face of people he once knew. People he remembered, people he loved. He would converse with those in hopes of preserving some last shreds of sanity. He died eventually, leaving his collection of masks behind. Some say that deep within their frame still subsists a fragment of the hermit's wisdom.
What kind of half-baked story is that? He could have written his goddamn secrets for everyone to read. You speak? How did I make you do that? Let's try this again. I have some questions. How did I make you do that?
A hermit once learned that by asking his questions to the mountains in the correct manner, the echoes would bring him answers.
Probably a matter of formulation. You only answer to open-ended questions, do you? Yes. Machine remains silent. I have some questions. He could have written his secret for everyone to read. What happened to your master?
He died because his body could not withstand his own spirit. A spirit which already had great troubles withstanding itself.
What's the story behind this vault?
5 friends, caught in a diluvial rain, sheltered under a tree, and pitched some money together. One of them faced the rain to go buy an umbrella. He survived the ordeal, perhaps because he was the only one gone when the thunder struck the tree.
What's James's story?
A testament, an heir, is sometimes all people need to leave this existence in peace.
Rolos?
A writer of great renown had it all. friends, family, wealth. He wondered why he couldn't write anymore. He despaired. He cried. He drank. Why? He yelled, while tossing away heaps of single-worded scripts. Why can't I write anymore? It's simple, my dear, said his wife, freshly awoken. You're not suffering enough. She added, I can help you with that.
Oh, God. What's Helena's story?
Once upon a time, a child had a music box he held very dear.
Mad Max.
Though he loved nothing more than hearing the box's sweet melody, he wanted to know how its mechanisms worked. He knew that by breaking open the box, he could have a glimpse of what was inside, and perhaps even a bit comprehend how it worked. Of course, he feared he couldn't repair it afterwards, opening the box and risking to break it, or leaving it the way it was. Eventually, the child would make his choice.
What's the story with the maintenance bot? Jimmy Jams.
A stone used to wet a flint, which was in turn used to carve tools. Even discarded, the stone was as useful as it was in the first place.
What's your story?
The birds have vanished down the sky. Now the last cloud drains away. We sit together, the mountain and me, until only the mountain remains.
Piper.
There are two kinds of poisons. Those that don't kill you and make you stronger, and the others.
Like Drano. Tell me about Dexter Aldridge.
He was the kind of man who praised butterflies for being gorgeous, yet crushed caterpillars out of disgust.
And James told me about an incident with some slavers. Tell me about it. Arthur remains silent. Oh no, we'll speak later. Alright, Arthur. Thanks for the chat. Hope you didn't enjoy my upskirt too much. Alright. Boiling your opponents. Oh, man. These in alphabetic order? Yes. Boiling, cutting, every little. Boiling, cutting, every little. Maybe they're not. Boiling your opponents. LMNOP, yeah. Booby trapping. Oh, there it is. Energy tinkering. Boiling your opponent. Your laser attack's 25. Let's do that, sure. Just one. Medical history, your best known deserters. Medical history. Oh, am I out now? Yeah. Alright. Teaches you the medical perk. And where's the other one? Boiling. Alright. discovered a way to boil your enemies into their armor. You inflict 30% more damage with energy weapons if your opponent's DT exceeds 10. And what was the other one? Even though we know what it is. Even though I forgot already. There we go. Alright, cool. I think that was it. Pretty sure it was. Alright, so, still, what are we doing? See how high you can get. Does he mean like... I don't know. Hey, are you done?
So, how may I help you?
Yeah, I'm ready for stuff. What can I help you with?
There is another guest I want you to investigate. Darren Andretti. On many regards, he was one of the most interesting guests we've had. But because of messy circumstances, I couldn't make a proper debrief with him.
You kill him? I'm curious to hear what you mean by messy circumstances.
One night he became so badly drunk he began throwing insults at the books, us, and our mother. While the experience was very enriching from a vocabulary standpoint, we ultimately had to stop him before he blew up the entire bibliographies with C4.
How did that end up?
Well, he ended up being banned from this place. One of the rare times we had to resort to banishment. We feared he'd come back at us with a vengeance, so we confiscated a lot of his explosives and left him with but a few weapons. So the fact that he might reach the closest community, we offered him some valuables to somewhat compensate the prejudice.
What kind of books did he want to destroy?
Economy, social studies, cognitive sciences, cybernetics. It barely made sense to us, but it looked like he knew exactly what he was doing. Picked books in separate shelves, rounded them up, packed them with C4.
Who was he?
A prospector, a raider, we were never quite sure on which side he was walking. What we did realize, however, is that he is extremely eager to educate himself and learn to read and write. We were all surprised by his sudden burning passion for literature, except Helena. For some reason, she hasn't the right to disclose that information to us.
So I guess I'm to find his room and find traces of something there?
For all I know, he began keeping some kind of diary during his sojourn here. He said it was good writing exercise for him. Finding it could be a start. I will give you the key. He threw it at my face instead of giving it back to Roland.
Besides his room, any other possible leads?
He liked to take long walks throughout the whole facility, and outside as well. He also spent a lot of time with Helena. She won't tell me much.
Oh, man.
God knows I asked her to talk about him. She wouldn't answer. Patient-therapist confidentiality.
I'm on it. It's only fair I get paid.
Of course, of course. I will ensure you do once you have found something.
I'm gonna dig myself a hole and eat out of it.
Yeah.
There's some things I want to go over. I'm on it.
And for this, you are to be commended and rewarded.
Alright, so ask about...
See you around.
Search his room. Let's go to his room first before we start talking to the world. I don't know when I'm gonna get to use you, you magical weapon. Cha 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 cha. There. Nope. All right. I'm home. Darren, you left your notes on the floor. I should begin to keep track of where I hide them, really. I have found another of those weird key cards. How many of those are there? I tried it everywhere I could, but I couldn't find any of the doors it's supposed to open. I'll hide it in the meantime in the G, in the RB. I wouldn't want to answer why I have those, especially if Roland stumbles on it during one of his famous surprise visits. I'll hide it in the meantime in the G, in the RBRBBRGB. The G? A very uneasy hand laid down quantities of letters on paper. A until the end. Want to know by which hole someone is trying to screw you over? Pay attention to what he isn't saying. Well, figures couldn't have done shit for them, even if I had been a doctor. Oh, is there an R in there? Hey, there's an R in there. I carefully writing my thoughts as they come. By writing, I ensure that what I am learning stays anchored in my mind. So I write again and again and again. Shift, I can't to get this right. This page is one of the numerous sheets Darren used to practice writing. Something on the page catches your attention anyway. In a corner, Darren wrote A + 1 = B. Ah. Whoa! Peace diary. Had the weirdest dream last night. Dad was here, looking at me through his broken glasses, nodding on the occasion. My head was covered with a myriad of small windows. They were encrusted in my skin and opened all the time. I was afraid my brain would pour out, so I tried to close them all, yet they were all bursted open afterwards. My mom came in to help me pick up the bits of my brain that fell on the floor. Somehow, between the time she took them and stuffed them back in my head, they turned into sheets of paper. I asked her why she was doing that, but I couldn't utter a single word. She handed me her backpack and some kind of plasma gun. Asked her what I was to do with it, but then she began singing erotic sounds, and that, dear old diary, was simply too much. Don't want that. This paper is badly crumpled and it takes time for you to decipher its content. There's only half-written sentences on it. Dear Dad, you useless fucker, why the hell did you never could? Why is it that the only time you actually did something was to, I never asked you for, poor old fuck. This last bit has been written several times. Hey. Always remember how my mom liked to tell my dad off and brought me along when she went excavating old world ruins. Gosh, was I excited when she did that. Taught me everything I had to know about explosives, how to rig them, time and all. I remembered something the other day, though, something I totally forgot. During one of our expeditions, we had found one of those ultra-sweet weapons, even more old-worldish than the others. Mom spent a little while examining those. I couldn't contain myself. Those things were so shiny they got to bring us some heavy caps. After a while, she placed the weapon down with the rest of them, backed in the bottom of the ruin, asked me to stay outside, got out after a while, and pushed her detonator. When I asked her no, when I yelled why she destroyed it, she told me that excavating weapons that could kill people one at a time is all fine and dandy, provided you're a little bit careful who you're selling them to, but bringing out weapons that could burn down entire towns, well, there should have been some rule against that. Oh, God. A large sentence is awkwardly written, dreadfully smeared. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my hand, and here's my gun. Now, that's quite the pile of papers. Probably gibberish written by Darren. You decide to lazily rummage through it, lose patience, and throw it all away. Quickly skim through it in hopes of finding something useful. Read it thoroughly in hopes of finding something remotely useful. Reading such a large amount of almost nonsensical text is quite the ordeal. On one paper, though, something catches your eyes. You're not sure, but there's some possibility that Darren laid down some cryptic indications to a nearby spot. You're a bit puzzled, though. If it wasn't for your sharp mind, you would have completely missed it. Darren was obviously not as stupid as it seems. You marked the place in your Pip-Boy. It's not very far. Darren's stash. To be able to earnestly say something and its contrary without the slightest bit of embarrassment is the past of genius. Arr. Getting tired of playing dumb. They probably imagined I couldn't write or read a single word before I came to their library when I've been keeping a journal since I was 7. Faking illiteracy has been the ticket for a very comfy stay, but didn't net as much rewards as I hoped. I know they got weapons. From what I gathered, the access is in the southeastern corner, first floor, secured, but it's there. Haven't succeeded in picking the lock, and there's no terminal connected to it. There got to be a way in. My time's running out and getting sick of this place. On top of that, I saw some night stalkers roaming outside, not too far from my cache. Maybe it's just time for me to leave. Alright, I think we read all these. Whole note is written in very hesitant writing. I learned a lot today. Genitalias of all sizes and flavors are drawn on the back of the sheet. Bum, bum, bum. Once again, I couldn't make sense of anything that big-ass computer Arthur told me. I still think there's some kind of pattern, some kind of secret hidden in all of the stories, but I just don't know what it is, and I still went through every book on encryption methods that I could find, to no avail, of course. Well, at least I hid one of those strange keycards in a broken terminal there. I found that one. Roland doesn't bother me when I'm in the computer room anyway, so I should consider hiding more things there. Vodka. I'll take it. So let's get those card caches right. One in planter, one with a chessboard, one on a typewriter, one on biology, one on chemistry, one in case fire, one behind a jukebox. And of course, none of them work. Alright, well.